to another video. For this one, as you saw, I still have a lot of summer reading to get done. We are halfway through August by this point, so summer is wavering and I really want to get through these books before the end of summer. And I figured I would just make a vlog out of it. We could see how much I could read realistically in a week. I do still have 3 exams left for class because it's finals, and then after that I'm off for like a week and a half, so I have plenty of time to read. So potentially it could be 1 week, potentially it could be 2, but I figured I would just try my hardest to get through the books that I picked for my summer reading vlog, which I only read 2 of them, so I still have these ones left. And currently I am reading a book on my Kindle which is called Song of Achilles, which I am a little more than halfway through, but it's not on my summer reading list. I will be reading it just because I'm more into that book than I am anything else, and I do want to finish it. But the other book that I'm into is this one, Everything I Know About Love, and I'm really barely into it. I literally, that's it, the tiniest amount. I think I've read 1 chapter. So this is the book that I'm going to be starting with because I've already begun, and I've been literally hyping this book up for myself the whole year. I said this was going to be the very first book that I read this year back in January, and it wasn't. So I need to force myself to pick this book up and read it. And I know that I'll most likely like it because I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I just haven't gotten myself there. So you're here to hold me accountable. I'm here to hold me accountable. We are going to get through this book. So today I have a little bit of plans. I'm going to go to the gym for the freaking first time in forever. I've been so busy with school. I have 2 assignments that I would like to get done. I want to study a little bit, but other than that, I don't have anything crazy going on. So we will just see how much I realistically can read today with all my school stuff going on. So stay tuned. I figured I would do an update before it got too dark outside. It's like nearing towards 8 p.m. and I did read more of this. I got to page 40 and I spent an hour this morning reading it, and then I went to the gym and I did pick up my Kindle, which is, I'm reading The Song of Achilles on this. So I read 2 chapters of that while I was on the treadmill, and I kind of came home and I ate, and then I watched TV, and I haven't done more reading. I do plan on doing more reading today, but I just wanted to update on the total amount that I read for today, since each day I do want to kind of keep track on how much I am reading. So today is Saturday, and in the first book, which is this one, I started on page 7, ended on page 40, so that is 33 pages read from this book. And then when I read off my Kindle, I started on page 215 and I ended on page 233. I can't believe I'm like halfway through the book. This must be a big book if I'm already on like 233 and I still have like a while to go. I think I'm almost at 60% for this book. But anyways, that is 18 pages I read for this book. So in total, between the 2, so far I have read 51 pages. And I definitely plan on reading a little bit more tonight. Like, I'll probably read for an hour before I go to bed. But I want to take a shower and try to study a little bit for my exam on Monday. And I know maybe starting on a Saturday is a little bit weird for this video, but next weekend on Saturday I will be busy, so I figured why not use this weekend when I have time to kind of start it out. So this will be ending on a Friday, if I decide to just do 1 week. But that so far is how much I read. This book is so far not what I thought it was going to be. I'm hoping it picks up. I do know that it's supposed to be a sort of like, yeah, a memoir, but I think I'm just having a little bit of a hard time relating, maybe, because she's talking about things that existed kind of like before I was born, if that makes sense. Like she's talking about like dial-up and how messaging was like, I think it's AOL, and I'm just like, you lost me because I didn't do any of that. And then she started talking about Facebook. I'm like, okay, I got Facebook. But I think at this moment, I'm having a little bit of a hard time relating to her. But it's still very early. But I do understand why these words are on here, even though they are crossed out, because right now she's kind of talking about her being in like university and she's in a party phase, and on here it is like parties, but it's crossed out. I think maybe they're crossed out, but the center of the attention is love. Again, I'm only 40 pages in, so there's still like a lot to dive into. I'm understanding the title a little bit more, but I'm just not really relating to her yet. But there's plenty of time to relate to her. And then Song of Achilles, again, it's not like a main focus for this since it wasn't my summer pick, but I am really liking it. As in, like, it wouldn't be something I would normally pick up on my own, kind of. But a lot of people like it and they say it's sad, and I'm kind of curious as to what do they mean by sad. I don't know. I don't know yet. All I know is that they are at war, like they're doing raids. So that's kind of my update for today. I will probably update you more tomorrow, and I'll let you know if I read any more today for Saturday and where I'm kind of beginning tomorrow for my reading. But currently, for day 1, which is Saturday, I have read 51 pages. Alright, so it's the next day, so I did read a tiny bit more yesterday. I believe I got to page 51. Let's see. Okay, so I ended up reading in this book, I got to page 54, so adding how much I read in that book and then Song of Achilles, I ended up reading 65 pages. And then today I just got done reading for, I don't know how long, it had to have been under an hour, but I read like 25 pages. So I'm on page 80 now, so not quite 100-page mark. I'm still not fully sure how I feel about this book. I know it's going to get good the more I get in there. I feel like maybe it's not that good of a book to annotate. I feel like not a lot of stuff are grabbing my attention enough to like write down. I am definitely like writing things in here, more of like my thoughts and feelings, but a lot of it is just things that I kind of can't relate to, and to me that makes it hard to annotate. She's still talking about drinking, but she's also talked about her first love, and she went into a section about where she had trouble with eating and lost a lot of weight and things like that. And thankfully, these aren't things that I can relate to, but I know that we're getting into more about her perception of love because we just got into a chapter of everything she knew about love at the age of 21. And I believe at the end of the book she's 30. So we have a couple years left to go, and I know that the more I like learn her and get into it, I'll like it more. But right now I just feel like I'm having a hard want to pick up the book because I just feel like buy it. But I know I'll enjoy it, and I definitely want to finish it in this vlog, so I'm definitely going to keep pushing myself to pick it up because I had the same feeling when I read Adelaide. If you guys watched a previous vlog where I talked about that, that was during my spring vlog, and I ended up really liking the book. It ended up being one of my favorites, but the beginning half was really hard to just get into, but the ending was amazing. So I'm hoping that this turns out to kind of be the same way. And yeah, I think tomorrow of like going to the bookstore and sitting at the cafe getting a coffee and studying there, and also I could bring my book and read more. I've noticed that when I'm here at home, I tend to pick up my phone a lot and I want to like scroll and do things, but when I'm out at like Barnes & Noble, when I bring my computer to like do homework, or if I take my book and I read, I am more focused on that. So if I want to kind of get further into it, which it would be nice to get past the 100-page mark, which I could probably do today. But if I want to get like further into it, because I'd hope I could finish a book or at least 2 this week. I think I might have a better chance of doing that at the bookstore. So I'll be a great parent. I'll take you guys along with me. We can go to the bookstore together. I'm not buying anything. I'm putting myself on a book buying ban for the rest of the year. So I better not buy a single book. And I'm gonna have to hold myself accountable for that. Anyways, not much of a book update, I guess. But hopefully I'll have more to tell you a little bit later today. Hopefully the book picks up and it gets a little bit more exciting. That way I have more to review on it. I just kind of feel like we're learning about her, but I just, at the moment, I can't really relate to her. Alright, so it is the next day, and yesterday I really didn't read much past what I told you I read. I kind of just forgot. I was more focused on studying for my exam that I had today, and then I straightened my hair, if you could tell. But, so yeah, I didn't read much yesterday. I think it was only 26 pages. Today, I did make it 100 pages in. I definitely do plan on reading more. I'm getting more into it where I'm relating to her a little bit more. There was a section where I was just like, okay, like I can see myself in this. So a little bit more tabs, but I think that the other thing about this book is the chapters can sometimes be long and they can kind of like almost feel like they're dragging. And maybe that's also why I'm just kind of like, ugh. Like the next chapter I think is like 20 pages long. It may not look that big when I show you, but I'm just like, ugh. Big chapters just are like daunting to me. Like it makes me not want to start it. But I am really liking it. I am pushing through. I know you probably want a bigger update, but I'm sorry. The next 2 more days I have finals, but after that I will be definitely reading more. I didn't read any more of Song of Achilles. I'm at the same spot, but hopefully I'll have a bigger update for you the next time I talk to you. I plan on reading more of this. Hopefully I can get another 20 pages in. That way I can at least read 40 pages today, because I read 25 today at the bookstore. But I think I decided just to kind of stick with this book and push through it, because if I start another book I may not pick this one back up. And I do believe in like DNFing a book, but I think that I should give this book a little bit more time. And I think I would also be just a little bit disappointed that I've been hyping up this book all year, and the time I finally decide to read it, I'm like, I don't finish it. So I really want to push through and get this one done. I've just been feeling a little pulled in all directions just because I have to study for finals and then do homework. But we're almost there, and then I get a week off, and it's just going to be boom, boom, boom reading. Let's hope. But that's kind of all I have now. So let's see how I feel the next time we read. So, hate to break it to you, but I really have not read in like 2 days. It is Thursday. Can't believe it's Thursday. Tuesday, I just did a whole bunch of studying and I had my final. And then yesterday, I did my last final, and then I went out with a couple of school classmates, and then I didn't come home until today. So I haven't read anything, and I've just been kind of like feeling like lazy and like burnt out because of like back-to-back finals that I haven't really read anything. I am starting to feel like in the mood of reading like right now, so I think I will pick up my book, but I decided to make this into like a 2-week long video. That way we can spend more time. Okay, as I was saying before, my battery rudely died on me, but yes, I will make this into a 2-week video. That way we can spend more time talking about books and reading together, because I'm now basically like free from school and I really, really, really want to finish those books. And that way we can kind of be done with our summer TBR and then jump into fall books, which I'm excited for. So I'll get to reading. I probably won't update you more today, but Friday is tomorrow. I do have a hangout with friends tomorrow, but I will definitely make time for reading because I have the rest of the day. Alright, don't yell at me. I haven't updated you guys in a few days, but I promise you, I have done reading. I am almost done with the book, actually. I think I only have this bit left. I kind of flew through 100 pages, maybe a little bit more than 100 pages within like the past 2 days. I say flying because I could have probably gotten 100 pages done in one day, but I was more like hanging out with friends, and then I finished my last 2 assignments. I'm completely done with school. I have no more, but because today is Saturday when I'm updating you, we have been doing this for a whole week. So I think I'm just going to go through and tell you my totals for each day. That way you know how much I read within the week, because that was the whole point of trying to keep track of how many pages per day while trying to finish my summer TBR, even though I still have not finished a book. But that is okay because we're still going for next week, even though I'm still busy with like friends. But I will make time to read because when I was reading last night, I like stayed up until like 12:30 reading, and I had this feeling of like, oh, this feels so good to just like lay in bed and do nothing and just read. I loved it so much. So hopefully that got me in such a hopefully it got me in such a reading mood that each day coming forward, all I want to do is pick up a book. And I just think that unfortunately this book maybe just wasn't the best. I'm still getting there. I still want to finish it. There's some really good quotes in here and like nice relatable moments, but I think that this wasn't helping me like dive into reading. I need something more fictional. So I still need to finish The Song of Achilles, and then there's also a book for the book club that I need to read, which wasn't on my summer TBR. So I feel like I just want to pick up like, I don't know, like a vampire book or like a romance book, something that's gonna like take me out of like real life realm. We'll get there. But let's go over my totals. So I'll start from the beginning of the week, even though I updated you guys on that earlier, but just a reminder, and then I can add on the rest of the week. So we began this on Saturday, and I had read 65 pages. So 65 pages on Saturday. Sunday I read 26. On Monday I read 51 pages. Tuesday and Wednesday I didn't read anything. Thursday I read 35 pages. And then yesterday I read 65. So in total for the whole week I read 242 pages, which is literally almost the whole book in here. Even though I'm on page 266 right now. I did read 34 pages today, but this starts like a whole new week. I am going to my sister's house in like a few hours, and so I have to kind of get like things ready for whatever I'm bringing over. But at least today I have done some reading, 34 pages worth of it. That way, in case I don't read anymore today, I have done something. I hope that the rest of the week I at least read something. This book will definitely get finished like probably tomorrow, 100%. Like I don't want to be reading this book anymore, even though I'm enjoying it to some degree now that I know the author more. But I don't know, I think this is just maybe the wrong book to like pick up and start this. Okay, so next time update you, let's manifest that I have an update as in I finished the book and I'm starting something new, instead of saying, oh, I haven't finished it yet, but hey, at least I got more than halfway done. Like, we're almost done. So alright, let's manifest that the next time I talk to you, this book is complete. I probably will not talk to you again today on Saturday since I'm going to my sister's. But I will definitely update you tomorrow, which is Sunday. And I'll let you know the next book I'm reading. I'll definitely have to pick up the book for the book club and focus on that. But I also, this whole thing is meant for me to do my summer TBR, and I know exactly what book I want to dive into afterwards that I know will probably take me out of like this weird, I don't want to call it a funk because I'm enjoying reading, but I need something a little bit more. it's done. I read the whole thing. I read 92 pages today. Thank God this is Sunday. I ended up not reading any more yesterday, so whatever I told you I read yesterday was it. And then today I woke up and did whatever I needed to do, got a coffee, or I made a coffee here, and then I knocked out the last 92 pages of the book. I tapped up so much. I took so many pictures of quotes in here, and now I'm like sitting here with 4 of them, and I'm like, which one do I post on Instagram? Because they're all so good. I ended up giving it just a 3 out of 5 because I can't possibly give it like a 4 or 5 because probably like 60% of the book I was just kind of like, ugh. But I knew that if I stuck with it, I would really, really like the ending, and I did. So the basis of this is literally what it says up here, which is it does talk about parties, it does talk about dates, friends, jobs, life, and love. I think the biggest premise is definitely love, but it's not all romantic love. She talks about reminding herself and talking to the reader that there is love everywhere, and not all of it needs to be romantic love with like a partner, that there's love even in the small moments, especially with your friends. And I think that it was just so sweet. There's so many just good takeaway moments. There goes my cat. There's so many good takeaway moments that made the book worthy of at least 3 stars. So I'm very glad that finally, 8 months into the year, I finally got a chance to pick this up and finish it. I will show you the next book I decided we should read because I feel like this is the most probably summery book that I have left, and I want to read it before it becomes September, where we get into like more of the transition to fall. So that's going to be Ali Hazelwood, which is Problematic Summer Romance. This one's a little bit bigger, but romance books are kind of easy to fly through. I've only read one so far by Ali Hazelwood, which was The Love Hypothesis, which is actually going to be a movie with Lily Reinhart, and then I don't know who the guy is, but this is going to be a nice escape from real life. Like, this one was very much like kind of hard to get into because it wasn't like me escaping. But I love books like this. I like where I can come away and feel like I learned something and have a different perspective on like life. But I'm ready to pick up something that's gonna be just nicer. So I'm excited to get into this. I don't really know much about it other than I believe it's like an age gap romance. All I know is he's a little bit older. And I'm assuming it's going to be summer like vacation romance based off of what it looks like. But I've seen a lot of people pick this up for the summer, and I want to too. So I will definitely be able to update you, hopefully with more positive vibes when I talk about a book, and maybe I'll get like giddy when I read this. But 1 book down, we're making our way through. I've read so much today. You should be proud of me. I have some updates for you. So today is actually Tuesday. I can't remember when I last updated you guys. Oh, Sunday. Let me tell you how much I read on Sunday. Ooh, yes. Let's talk about Sunday. I read so much on Sunday. It was actually insane. So, just a little bit of a refresh from Sunday. I read the rest of the book, so 92 pages from that book, and then I actually started this one, which I told you guys. And I got 66 pages into this book, so total on Sunday I ended up reading 158 pages, which is pretty good. And I am liking this book so much better. I feel like I actually just like want to pick it up. It's definitely just like taking me away from reality, which is a big part of why I just like enjoy reading. Definitely I love books that make me kind of like reconsider like my life and my thought process, so I do like books like Everything I Know About Love, but this one's just kind of like hitting the spot of where I want to be right now. I ended up reading, 66 pages that day, so in total I read 158 pages, and then yesterday I picked up this book only a little bit because I was out, and then I had to watch the Love Island reunion. So I only read 24 pages, but I have picked up this book some more today, and I think I've already read like more than 30 pages because I started at page 90. Well, definitely. I started at page 90. I'm at 132 right now. And I've already decided that I'm dedicating today to just like lay in bed and read and do nothing else. Not changing out my pajamas. We gonna be in them all day. But I mean, because it's so good, this is like the second book I've read from Allie Hazelwood. I've only read The Love Hypothesis from her, and this one's actually like immediately just like so much better than The Love Hypothesis. I also didn't know that this was like a brand new release. She just released it May of 2025, and we're like in August of 2025. So I don't think I've ever been this early. But anyways, I literally have nothing to do today. I'm just gonna keep reading, and I'm really liking the book. I've never read an age gap romance before, so this is definitely like interesting in a way of like, I've never dove into that. But I like it. I like all the characters so far. I think it's pretty interesting where they're at. They're like located in Italy. So I don't find anybody annoying. I think that's always a good sign because I feel like I have a hard time getting into the relationship if somebody's annoying, and I don't think anybody is so far. But man, I feel like I talk a lot and not a lot of reading. So let me stop talking. I'm gonna get more in. Let's manifest some more because it worked last time. Let's manifest that I'll get to at least page 200 today, so I have more to update you on, because I believe if I get to 200, that would be like 50% of the way. I think I could do it. Alright. Manifest for me, and I will update you when I'm on page 200 or past. Oh, perfect timing. So I finished. So I definitely got to page 200 by the next day. I didn't update you guys, but I decided to just finish it. This was a really good book. I think the ending felt a little bit rushed, and it felt very like, yeah, I think rushed, because they finally got together, but then it felt like I rushed. I don't know what else to say. They got together and he was already talking about like moving in together and getting married, and they ended up getting like engaged. Like he proposed to her a month after getting together. So that's what I mean by like rushed. It was like, oh my gosh, I just felt like she wanted to like end the book, and that once they got together there wasn't really anything left for the story. And I feel like maybe that's what all romances do. I feel like once they get together they're just like, okay, end of story. And it's like, I don't know, I think I just wanted something a little bit more after the end, maybe a little bit more to their story. I think it was totally like cute, and I loved the way she wrote. I loved the main character. I think she's very likable. I think the main guy is really likable too. And I really liked it. I think in total I would give this like a 4-star. I honestly feel like I flipped through it. I kept wanting to pick it up. There was no point in time where I'm just like, ugh, I don't really want to read this. I really enjoyed it. So I definitely recommend it. This is my second Allie Hazelwood book, and now I'm very intrigued to pick something else from her up. I think I've wanted to read, I think it's called Bride. It's like the werewolf book. That's all I really know about it, but I think that might be my next Allie Hazelwood book that I read. But in terms of how much I've read each day, we can go over my list because it's definitely picked up compared to like last week. So last time I talked to you guys, it was Tuesday, because I didn't talk to you guys yesterday, which was Wednesday. So Tuesday ended up reading 92 pages. Wednesday I read 118, and today is Thursday. It's only 2:33 p.m. and I've already read 97 pages. So when I tell you I flew through this book, the majority of it got read in 3 days. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then I know that the point of this video is for like how much I realistically read in a week while I'm finishing my summer TBR, but if I'm being completely honest, I don't really want to read these. I think this one is daunting. Look at the size of this. And I just read a romance book, and I love romance, but I think I kind of want to do something a little bit different. And then I already read a Dolly Alderton book, and that one was a little bit tough to get through, so I think I want to like just take a break before I do another one of her books. So I'm gonna pretend that I did finish my Summer TBR, because I don't want to read those right now. And then also I have a book club meeting on Sunday, and I haven't even started the book, so it's this one. So we only have one more day, which is Friday, which would complete like my 2-week, how much I realistically read in a week. So I think I'm just gonna prioritize this one. I know it's not on like my Summer TBR, but just bear with me because I don't want to read those anymore. And it's really short. I think it's only like, yeah, it's 191 pages, so it's very small, but it's supposed to be about, I guess, the guy Maury and somebody else. Maury is like some professor, I believe, and he had the author, wherever his name is, so yeah, it's at the bottom, the author in his class, I believe. And basically Maury gets diagnosed with like cancer or like some end of stage like health condition, and basically the author meets up with him every Tuesday and he interviews him almost, and you kind of get like the backstory of his life. It's supposed to be very like motivating and I guess like life lessons and like heartwarming, and obviously, you know, he's gonna pass away, but I think that it's probably like something we can like learn from and maybe like change your perspective on life. I think that it's gonna be like a bittersweet story, but it's also gonna remind you like to live your life to the fullest. So I need to read this because our book club meeting is on Sunday and today's Thursday, so I have time. If I'm reading like 118, 97 pages, you know, in 2 days, like I'll finish this. But also it's not a romance book, so we'll see. So bear with me for one more day, and I'll update you on how much I finished reading for today, which is Thursday, and I'll tell you how much I read tomorrow, Friday, and then we're done. No more Summer TBRs because next month is September and we are going to start reading fall books. So then you can join me in picking my fall TBR. And I think we can do a fun idea for that. But yeah, that's kind of it so far. So one more day and we'll be done. I figured I'd do a little update. It is Friday at like almost 3 p.m. and I told you guys that I was reading this book. I actually finished it. It was really, really good. I gave it a 5-star. That's how like good it is. I just think that it's so sweet, and it was exactly what I expected it to be, and it felt so like wholesome, and it definitely like had that emotional like pull about it. You definitely feel for Maury and what he's going through, and I guess the condition he has is ALS. So it kind of talks about his decline through his, you know, health. And he's talking to Mitch about, you know, his perspective and how he's staying positive. And I guess kind of like how life changes when you know you're going to die. And he just kind of gives him some like solid advice that probably people should take into account in order to live their life to the fullest and make the right decisions while they still have the chance to, and when you're not on the deathbed. So I think it's a very good read that honestly, like, I would recommend this book to like everybody. Like, if anybody asks me what's a good book to read, I feel like I'm going to start recommending this one because it was just so good. It's just, this is like the type of books that I love to read. I love the quotes. I love coming away with like a new perspective and like feeling, I guess, like gratitude for like the life that we have, because we are so grateful to live how we live and the privileges that we do have. And it just basically reminds you to be happy and, you know, see the good in everything, that you could literally have the worst. Like, this man literally is dying from ALS and he still is being able to see the positives and be thankful for his life. And I think one of the big things that he did say was that he is very thankful that he gets the chance to say goodbye to his loved ones, and many people don't even have that opportunity. And that's what he means by be grateful with what you have, because you may have it better than somebody else, even if you think you have it bad. So I think it's a nice reminder to not let other people kind of dictate your feelings. Don't let a moment where you feel mad ruin your whole day. I think it's so easy for us to get caught up in, being sad or being mad or finding negatives and letting those kind of like hold over us. But I think that you really just need to change your point of view and see things in a better light. And I think it takes me back to the let them theory, which I read a couple months ago. If you watched that video, I think again, you need to just like let people be who they're going to be. You can't change them, and you need to let yourself figure out what's important to you and go through about your day that way. I love books like this. So if you want something short and something good and makes you feel like a human being, and reminds you that we're all just people living in a world for our first time, this is a good book. But I think I'll go over my totals that I read. So yesterday, because I finished reading that Ali Hazelwood book and then I read this book, I didn't actually finish this one until like today early in the morning, like around 12 in the morning, because I stayed up. So my total for Thursday, which was yesterday, I read 239 pages. That is so much. I feel like a true reader. And the fact that this is my third book I'm finishing for this video, I feel like a true reader. I'm telling you, school is a distraction. But today, when I finished the book, I read 50 pages. I'm not going to start anything new. Again, I'm not going to do those 2 books that were on my summer TBR. I think I'm not interested in them right now. But I was reading Song of Achilles, and I kind of stopped so that I could read these other books, and I definitely am going to pick that up. I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done today. I'm trying to prepare myself to kind of get ready for the next semester of school. I didn't buy a planner because every single time I buy a planner, I never freaking use it. So I just printed out like little calendars, and I wrote like my school schedule on them, and like when I have nursing clinicals, for the dates that I know. So I don't know what else there is to do. I think there's some paperwork I have to turn in because they want me to be like updated on my vaccines, and there's some like orientation stuff I have to sign before the 2nd. And I think we have like 3 more days left of the month if you count today. So I might want to get started on that, but I'm so sad. Like, I love school, but I like love reading, and it's so sad like the minute I go back to school, I don't have enough time to read, so I don't even know when I'm gonna like finish another book. So I definitely do want to get back into Song of Achilles, see if I can kind of really progress through it before I have to go back. I'd really like to finish it, but I'm not sure like how much I'll actually get through. But I just kind of wanted to update you guys on where I'm at with my reading, because I've done a lot. So yeah, I think the next book I'm just going to focus on for the rest of today, because today's the last day of like our week where I've been recording, our 2nd week where I've been recording how much I read every day. So if I read more, I'll let you know. If not, you'll just see me tomorrow when I end this vlog. I know there wasn't a lot of like B-roll stuff. It was a lot of just like me coming on here and like updating you guys with like the stats and stuff, but I think I wanted it to be more statistical, this video, because the whole point was I'm trying to finish my summer TBR, and then also I wanted to see how much I would read in a day, and yeah, I kind of did that. So that's pretty much all I have for right now. I will let you know if I decided to read more, or just to say goodbye to you guys. Alright, so I'm here to finish out this little video because we are officially on Saturday, which means yesterday, which was Friday, was our last day for this challenge, seeing how much I read realistically, for our 2nd week. So I'm just going to run through all the totals again, and then I can tell you my week 2 total. So just a reminder, for week 1, I read 242 pages. And we started this week on Saturday, so I read 34 pages. Sunday was 158. Monday was 24. Tuesday was 92. Wednesday read 118. Thursday was 239. Friday, which was yesterday, was the last day. I ended up reading 103 pages. So my week 2 total was 768. That feels crazy to me, but I technically did finish all 3 books within this week. Yeah, I started this one in like week 1, but then these 2 were completed in week 2, and the majority of this one was done in week 2, so that feels a little bit crazy to me because I know that the amount's going to go down now that I go back to school. But I did pick up Song of Achilles for the second half of Friday, so yesterday I ended up reading 53 pages of that book, and I'm still continuing it today. I'm 82% of the way through the book, so I'm hoping that I can finish it within the next like 2 to 3 days. But I think that this was super interesting to kind of record how much that I'm reading each day. I think that yes, it was how much I realistically read because it was whenever I picked up a book, but I felt like it made me want to pick up a book so much more because I didn't want to have to put in a 0 for a day. And I think that I just also, because I'm on break from school, I was in such a reading mood that it was very interesting to me to just pick up a book, and I think I really liked all of these books. It's a little bit hard to get through Everything I Know About Love, but the last 2, the romance book and then the Tuesdays with Maury, those were so good that I flew through them, that it made it also easier to just pick up a book. So this may be something that I kind of revisit, because when I track my pages, I feel like it motivates me so much more to, I guess, just pick up a book and read, because again, I don't want to mark it down as a 0. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna say I finished my summer TBR. I just don't feel like reading the other 2 books that I showed you guys. So technically, the books that I do want to read that were on that list, they have been read, plus an addition. So after this, we are going to be in September, so it's going to be fall time. I do have an idea for my fall TBR and how I'm going to pick it, and I'm excited to upload that, see what you guys think. So be on the lookout for that if you want to know how I'm picking them. It's not your traditional TBR jar. But that's pretty much it for this video. Hopefully it wasn't like super annoyingly long, especially without any like b-roll. It's just me talking about how many pages I'm reading. But hopefully it motivated you to read and pick up a book, because I think that if you haven't picked up a book today, you should do it today. And that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to leave everything in the description bar. So that's going to be like my Goodreads, my TikTok, my Instagram if you guys want to follow me there. You can also subscribe here, and don't forget to give this video a like if you liked the idea. If you have any ideas for me, you can definitely comment them down below. I'm always open to getting ideas or like book recommendations. But that is it. So thank you for joining me on this video, and I will see you in the next one.